Welcome to the ADRS Personal Development Project. My name is Mike and I'm here with Henry Welsh. Henry, what is your personal definition of addiction?
Well, let me see. My personal definition of addiction is someone that is dependent on a substance or a process, whatever it may be, that causes them to revolve their lives around it. Even though it's harmful to their relationships, their livelihood, health, or even well-being.
Well then, who are addicts?
Well, Mike, addicts can be anybody. It can be your teacher, parents, brothers, sister, your doctor, lawyer, heck, even your pastor. Family history and genetics, even cultures can play a role in addiction. Mike, addiction does not discriminate. Now, I've learned over this semester that substance addiction is not the only type of addiction. There's process addictions, and this can be compulsive and obsessive in nature, and people use it to alleviate their pain or use it for coping. And these process addictions, they can be just as intense as substance addictions.
Really?
Yes, these types of process addictions, they can be eating, shopping, sexual activity, people gambling, internet gaming, love addiction.
Wow.
Yes, even codependency.
So Henry, how do people become addicts?
Well, there are many ways that people become addicts. It can be a culture thing, genetics, family history. You remember maybe when you're in high school, peer pressure, or finding a substance or a process that gives these people an escape or a relief, or that sense of euphoria that gives them that escape from their pain or whatever that that they're going through. This can also be biological. It can be psychological. It can even have some social components to it. When you hijack the reward and pleasure pathways of your brain continually, you have a higher risk or chance of being addicted.
Wow. Well, so how do addicts get help?
Well, very good question, Mike. You don't want to necessarily go out there and help these individuals on your own, especially if you're not trained or something.
Okay.
But there's so many 12-step programs out there that these individuals can get help from. There's, like AA, Alcoholics Anonymous,
Right.
NA, Narcotics Anonymous.
Sure.
I mean, there's all kinds out there. I mean, there's for heroin, cocaine, overeating. There's a 12-step program for almost anything out there. And not to worry if you can't find that program for you or these people, that it's locally or something or close by. There's always these communities and these 12-step programs that they can find on the internet.
Interesting. So what does recovery look like?
Well, recovery looks like an individual that is taking it one day at a time. A person that decides that they're no longer wanting to engage in a substance or a process addiction activity for that day. They start to fill their time with activities that don't revolve around substance abuse. They start to fill their time with activities that could be physical or hobbies or just something that replaces these harmful ones for good ones.
That's great.
And see, this semester I've learned so many different things, but learning about the chemistry of the brain and its functions have really stood out to me in learning about others with addiction and learning more about myself. I've learned about dopamine levels and the addiction continuum. See, your normal dopamine secretions, they have this original set point so that when you do things that make you feel good, like playing tennis, fishing, or reading, you get these normal dopamine surges. Now, the stress of dopamine surges are when you use substances or other addictions to induce the high level of dopamine to surge way above your normal original set point. And if you continuously do this, you make a new hedonic set point. And all the activities that you once got a good feeling about will fall to the wayside, and your life starts revolving around the substance that you are abusing.
So Henry, this addiction continuum, what is it that you're talking about?
Well, Mike, this continuum, it's this continuum that starts out with total abstinence. When someone doesn't, is not doing anything. And then they move on into an experimentation type of state where they're trying something new, wanting to see what it's like or whatever. And then usually it goes into regular use. Someone may do it once a day, a week or something, and it turns into more often or something to where it gets into abuse. And before you know it, individuals can become dependent on it, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually. And this all develops into addiction, in which by the end of it all, it all leads to death.
What are your insights into the role of social responsibility in a culture, within a culture and worldview?
Ooh, worldview. Well, a lot of cultures, college culture, the drinking and the partying. In Germany with Oktoberfest and all, they have these get-togethers and these big parties, and it's almost accepted, or it is accepted, or maybe even expected. Or you go down into Mexico and you get with the quinceañeras, and the families get together for the big weddings and all. A lot of this revolves around the dancing and the partying.
Right.
And there's always this alcohol. So yeah, the worldview of these cultures, be interesting.
All right. Well, Henry, thank you for answering these questions on your ADRS personal development project.
Thank you very much.